Today I'm going to show you how I make my simple, cheap, and yet very effective swarm traps from a few items I get from my local hardware store for around $15. The items that you'll need for this swarm trap are 2 of these disposable cardboard pulp flower pots. These were about $7-ish a piece. A can of spray foam, 1¼ inch sheetrock screws, an eye bolt with a nut on it, as well as a washer, and some optional items are a carabiner and some sort of waterproofing agent like this Gorilla waterproof patch and seal, or Flex Seal also works. That's optional because it is more expensive, but it's completely up to you. You don't have to have it, but I like to spray it on mine just so my swarm traps last a little longer. You'll also need a drill with a set of drill bits, as well as a Phillips head bit. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select an entrance. This doesn't really matter. This one here is about 1 inch wide, maybe 3/4 inch long, so I'm going to go ahead and use that one. I'm not going to spray foam that one because that's going to be my one entrance, so the rest of these are just going to get spray foam. Okay, now that I've given the spray foam a little time to dry, I'm going to go ahead and do the optional step of applying a waterproof sealant over the swarm trap here. I don't want to spray too much on the inside on this, so I'm just going to go over that lightly. And I'm not going to spray the inside, I'm only going to spray the outside. I got a nice layer of the waterproofing spray on top of these. I'm going to let this dry again and we'll continue with the actual assembly of the swarm trap. Okay, now that the spray foam and the sealant has had time to dry, we're going to go ahead and take a drill and we're going to drill a hole in our top, which is the one that has all 4 holes filled with spray foam. And we're going to drill a hole to be able to mount our eye bolt to the top. Okay. Now that our hole is drilled with adequate space to get our eye bolt in, we're going to go ahead and poke the eye bolt through. And here on the bottom, we're going to take our washer and the nut and go ahead and secure that into place. Okay, now it's going to allow that to be able to hold some weight to it. So at this point, once you have your eye bolt mounted to the top of your swarm trap, you're essentially ready to go out to your swarm trapping location and go ahead and bait the swarm trap. The way I do that is I get myself a dark brood frame. This one's not a great example, but it's what I had on hand. Your old nasty black brood frames, the really dark color ones, those are my favorite to use just because they tend to smell a little bit stronger. And if you have some you're trying to rotate out, I like to use those as bait combs. So you're gonna need one of these, and the other thing I like to use is I like to use the Swarm Commander. You don't have to use this, you can use lemongrass oil. I've caught a lot of swarms from this, so this is what I use, and this one bottle that I bought a few years ago has caught a lot of swarms. So the way you're gonna go ahead and set this up is you're gonna get your bottom here, the one with the entrance, lay it down. I like to set the comb to where it lays just alongside the entrance there, so the smell is a little stronger. And it's just gonna sit like this. And you're gonna take your top, spray a Swarm Commander 1 spray in the top, like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. It's really important that you don't overuse your lure because it'll actually have a reverse effect and make the bees not actually want to go into your trap. Okay, and I'm gonna use those sheetrock screws now and go ahead and screw the flower pots together. Okay, now that we've gotten the swarm trap screwed together, I like to go from both the top and the bottom. That way, as this thing starts to get heavier with bees, it holds up a little bit better and just kind of helps support the weight a little bit. For mounting this in your location, if you have a carabiner, again, you don't have to have one of these. You can just go rope right through. But take rope, wrap it around a tree or a limb, go ahead and clip that guy in and secure it. And then I like to have an extra piece of rope or strap and go around the bottom side of this as well and secure it to a tree. Another optional thing you could do is you could take a little bit of like blue painter's tape and go around the seam just to make it a little bit darker in there. I don't really think it matters. It might seal off a couple of these holes if you have a couple flower pots and maybe have some dents in them. But other than that, you're gonna go ahead and hang it from a tree, secure it. And the final thing that I like to do is do one more shot of your Swarm Commander into your entrance there from a distance, just like that. That's all the baiting I do, is a squirt in the top on the inside and one squirt at the entrance. And that is plenty. Again, if you do too much of this, I've actually seen swarms come to the outside of swarm traps and they don't go inside because it's too strong. So it's important not to do too much. So yeah, that's a swarm trap. And really you could hang it wherever you want. I typically like to hang it 8 to 10 feet in a tree. That's where I found the most success for me. And I have caught a lot of swarms in these. I think last year alone, I caught 4 swarms in swarm traps like this that I've built. Super cheap, great way to get yourself some almost freebies. And yeah, it's really fun.